What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 6 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC. And today, it's a live com doubleheader. It's two big games as well. We play the team in second and then the team in third. It's all worked out in terms of giving you guys the games that I imagine you want to see. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to get into today's episode. In terms of what's happened since the last match, which of course was that defeat against Larkhall, well, we've bounced back with a bang. And we've kind of gone through this weird run of kind of results where for a while I was losing a load off camera, and then I won obviously against Swindon. And then we went on a nice running run, and then we lost off camera, and then we've gone back to winning ways. It's going okay. I mean, the defeat against Larkhall was a bit of a kind of problem, but we've bounced back with some good results against some teams fairly high up in the division. You can see here we beat Slimbridge 3-0, Jake Sinclair grabbing a hat-trick. We then beat Winchester 3-1. Again, pretty good result this one. It was a good team performance. We were the better team, and well, we made it count on the scoreline. And in the last game we played against Wimborne, as you can see, we won 2-0. Mason Watkins-Clark getting a goal for us, the centre-back, the youngster, a very good player as well. And I'm pleased to say he's decided he's no longer unhappy at the club, and he's actually agreed to sign another year contract. If granted, we are now paying him £200 a week, but the defender, a very good young player. A player who I do believe can develop, and I have started to play him a little bit more in the first team, and he really has adapted and played well, being given a little bit more in the way of responsibilities. So anyway, in terms of how the league table looks, today we are taking on Taunton first, and then we're going to be taking on Shrewsbury. So the game against Taunton is going to be a big one. They're 6 points behind us, so a win against them would see us go 9 points clear, with 9 games left of the season. And then, of course, Shrewsbury only a point behind Taunton. They're going to be looking really to beat us in the second game, but also perhaps hoping that Taunton can do one over on us, so that they can edge slightly closer to us at the top of the table. So unless the results go absolutely mad today and we lose like 10-0, we are assured to still be top of the table come the end of the episode, even if we were to lose both games. But of course, we don't want that to be the situation that happens. We want to get kind of to winning ways, and we want to start off obviously with a great result against Taunton to start this episode. Last time we played them, I can't remember actually what the score was. Let's find out. We beat them 3-1. It was a good performance. Kane Lewis was actually sent off in this game. But no, we won 3-1, so we've beaten them once before. I'm hoping, of course, we can beat them again today. And yeah, in terms of what's been going on, obviously, it's now the middle of February. It's not been that long since the last episode, but we have done a little bit in the way of transfers. So on the transfer front, I let Jamie Edge go. We agreed a mutual termination of his contract. He was unhappy. He wasn't playing that much first-team football for us, and he's not that great. I hate to be brutal like that. The star ratings here, I don't agree with them at all. He was rated by my assistant manager to be better than Clifton, but if we just kind of compare the two players, you can just see that Clifton is just a vastly better player across the board. But yeah, Jamie Edge gone out. A little bit sad, of course, to lose a player. He was here when we first came to the club, but we kind of had to do it. He didn't want to sit on the bench for the rest of his life, and well, I can assure him he would be getting a regular spot in the first team. We've loaned out Thomas Smith. Nothing too crazy going on there, just one of the few regen youth players who generated when we started the save. And the last player I've let go is Brandon Smalley. He's gone to Enfield Town. It was a little bit tough to let this guy go. I kind of brought him in with high aspirations for what he could achieve with us, the 19-year-old. But in truth, he just never really hit the ground running. He played 5 games for us, didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist. A 6.47 average rating, just simply put, not really good enough. In terms of transfers on the in, we have made one signing, a fairly big one as well in terms of the wage fee we're paying him, and it's this guy, Matty Hamilton. He's a former Wigan Athletic man, and he's a very good player, obviously. Played a few times under 21s level for Ireland. He's got great finishing for this level, 13 finishing, 12 first touch, good composure, great off the ball. His pace and acceleration are fantastic too. And really, I brought him in just because we do need a little bit more strength in the striker position, but also because I'm slowly coming to the realisation that Jake Sinclair, he's not going to renew his contract. I've tried everything. It's been the case kind of for most of the season that he just isn't interested in renewing it. Maybe we can get him to renew it right at the end of his contract, although that seems increasingly unlikely. And with that in mind, it's important I do have a long-term striker option, and I feel like Matty Hamilton could be the man to kind of step up and, I guess, fill the void that Jake Sinclair is inevitably going to leave. In terms of the two players, two very different players. Jake Sinclair is certainly the better of the two, but at the same time, they are very talented players at this level, and I feel like Matty Hamilton is going to come good for us, and he is going to be on the bench for the first game against Taunton. In fact, only confirmed his signing, I think, this morning, so he's playing kind of on the day of his transfer if he turns up. Yeah, you can see here, the deal was done today, so he's made the trip from Wigan, and hopefully he can give a good performance for us today. So anyway, let's get into today's game against Taunton. Obviously a massive game. I'm not going to live com the bit in between this game and the second game of the episode, just because there's not a lot going on at the moment, and it would just be kind of me talking over loading screens for a full week. Which, I mean, I'm sure for some of you, like, you dream of me doing a video where I just ramble for that long. But in truth, with 2 live comms this episode, it's going to be a longer episode anyway. So I want to condense it where I can. And yeah, well, we're going to get straight into this game against Taunton. The squad itself, fairly standard, nothing too crazy going on. We've got Stuart Searle in goal. We've got Johnson, Watkins, Lacey and Lewis across the back. Jaden Hall at right mid. Townsend and Clifton in the middle. Matty Forst out on the left. And it's Jake Sinclair and David Lynch up top for us today. Anyway, early on in this game, 0-0. Not a whole lot happening in truth. Not a lot of chances going either way. They are edging possession, but, well, as you can see here, we've had 2 half chances. But with 20 minutes gone, the score remains 0-0. And I did just notice in the top right, Salisbury are leading in their game. So a win for them here and a defeat or draw for Taunton would see them go second in the table going into the game that we play against them. Townsend might be there. Is it offside? I don't think it is. It's a great goal by Dan Townsend, the centre mid, not known for his ability in the air. The ball itself from Lewis, Lacey, was really good as well. Lacey Lewis with, well, it was just kind of a punt back into the area, and Dan Townsend, he's not known for his aerial prowess, the centre mid. Look, you know, obviously he's the playmaker for us. He's the man pulling the strings, the guy who can spot a pass and pick it out. But, well, it was a nice little finish by him in truth. I'm not sure if he volleyed it in or if he managed to get a header. He was relatively uncontested. The big looping ball over the top of the defence as the kind of defence was pushing out from the set piece that had initially been cleared. But, well, we've made it count, and it's first blood to us in this game. Lacey Lewis even. Big ball over. Townsend's there. Keeper, no man's land. Great goal for us, and, well, that sees us go a goal up, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, worth noting that this game is a big game for us, but when it's come to big games this season, we've done pretty well. Of course, we beat Salisbury last time we live-commed a game against them 3-0. Against Swindon Supermarine, we beat them 4-0 in a live commentary, and I'm hoping that we can maybe keep a run of good results in live comms against the teams at the top of the table going today. As Sinclair, not many options in the box. Lynch is there, though. Lynch probably should have scored. The keeper with a fantastic save from point blank. The ball not fully cleared, though. Johnson, the right back, unfortunately not able to deliver a second ball of quality into the box. But, well, with our second clear-cut chance of the game, perhaps we should be finding ourselves 2 goals up. Of course, half an hour gone here. The win is what we're really looking for. Our goal difference is a little bit weird. In terms of the fact, I think we're averaging just shy of 2.5 goals a game. We like to score. Defensively, we don't really do defending that well in truth. But no, we've scored so many goals this season, and it's kind of been that's propelled us up the league. You know, I think the next highest total is about 20 or 30 goals behind us in terms of total number of goals scored. But we've only drawn 2 games this year. Forster should have scored, hits the woodwork. That was a clear-cut chance as well, but, well, it remains 1-0. But as I was saying, we've not drawn that many games this year. We've only actually drawn 2, which, to draw 2 games in kind of 30-odd and lose 7, I think it is a little bit weird. Or at least I thought it was weird until I looked at a fellow team in our division. I can't remember which team it was now off the top of my head. They've just scored a goal that probably should never go in. I think the keeper's made a howler. But what I was going to say was there's a team in our division who have only drawn 1 game, so they're kind of doing even better than us when it comes to the whole avoiding drawing thing. This shot, I don't think it's a great shot by Wright in truth. It's slotted down well. The keeper's got to get there, though. Searle, just not great play by him. Should have done better, didn't do better. And, well, at half-time, we concede a very soft goal, but it's going to allow Taunton a way back into the game. I'm going to tell the players that I'm not happy with their performance. David Lynch, he looks stressed. He looks nervous. I might take him off for Matty Hamilton. Let's give Matty Hamilton his time to shine. In fact, do I want to do it this soon? I don't think I do. But Matty Hamilton, I'm desperate to get him on the pitch at some point, the new man. Maybe he can make an impact, of course, on his debut. Sinclair, poor first touch by him. He was almost through straight from kickoff, but it was a big ball up to him and he just couldn't quite get it under control. But yeah, Lynch not having the greatest game. Defensively, the ratings aren't that great either. In truth, Taunton, they're getting into this game. But now we have a set piece. Johnson whips it in. Back post. Hall is there. And Hall will find the back of the net. I was saying our defenders don't have the best average ratings. It's a good job that our midfield and attackers are stepping up and well. It's Hall with another goal. He's wearing the captain's armband, the youngster. And, well, in truth, he's been a bit of a surprise package this year. He's the winger, or the player who should be played as a winger, who we don't play as a winger, but loves to score and loves to get an assist. or two, and well, he's got another one to add to his collection there. The ball falls to him very kindly from a half-cleared set piece, and well, he finds the back of the net. And we do find ourselves now a goal to the good with half an hour left. David Lynch still not having a particularly fantastic game. I'm going to take him off and bring in Matty Hamilton. We have got some other subs we can make as well. Matty Forster's not had the greatest game on the left-hand side, so I'm going to bring in Coutrez. Or Coutrez. Is it Coutrez? I don't know. It sounds like it should be French, but he's English, I'm assured. But no, he's a very good player playing out wide. And I'm hoping that he's going to step up to the plate. He's not had too many opportunities in truth, because very often Jaden Hall and Matty Forster just perform very well, and so I'm very tentative to bring him on. And in truth, Coutrez, he's not had many starts, if any, to my knowledge. You know, he's very much been this kind of option on off the bench to bring on out wide, but well, he's going to get a little bit of a chance to show us what he's made of today as well. Matty Hamilton, the new man, not with the greatest ball through, and now it's going to be them bringing the ball forward. Tuck through on goal, options on ahead of him, a lot of options. Lewis Lacey, though, what a tackle that is. The ball flicked on by Sinclair, not quite able to pick out his man, however, and now it's going to be Taunton bring the ball forward again. 66 minutes gone, a goal now would really open up the game with 20 minutes to spare, and well, it was almost another scorcher from distance. This time it does go sailing over the crossbar, fortunately for us. But well, immediately we're going to have another chance here as Taunton passing it around the edge of the box. Now with Wright, their number 10, McCarthy. They've got so many men committed to this attack. Pell whips it in back post. Wright's there, should have scored for them. The ball goes blazing over the crossbar, and well, Taunton, they've had chances in this game, as have we, but well, it remains 2-1 going into the kind of latter stages of this game, and well, we're going to change just a little bit here. We're just going to tell the wide midfielders just to get a little bit more defensive, and also the fullbacks. You know, we don't need to push on so much. We can hold our shape a little bit more in terms of the 4-4-2. Let our two strikers work some magic, perhaps, if the ball finds its way to them. But no, we don't need to do anything too crazy now. You know, 10 minutes left. We're a goal to the good. We've been playing very well in this game, as have Taunton. Taunton have had a lot of chances. They've not had great clear-cut chances, but they're having plenty of opportunities. And well, with 5 minutes left, it's all about just preserving the lead that we have. And well, it looks like we are going to do this, unless there's going to be a very, very late sting in the tail. As well, you can see the time ticking away in the top left. It's going to be all she wrote. We are going to win this game 2-1. Not the most convincing of performances, perhaps, if you were to compare it to some of our other results against teams at the top of the table. But nevertheless, a very good performance for us. Salisbury did win 3-1, so they now go second in the league. So we're going to be taking them on in the next match, just coming up in a second. If we beat them, we'll go 10 points clear with 8 games remaining. And, well, in that kind of position, you'd say the league is ours to lose. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this half of the commentary here. We'll be back in a week's time for that game against Taunton. Hopefully you have enjoyed so far. If you have, smash the like button, and yeah, stick around, because we've now got to play the new team who are second in the table for a chance to pull even further ahead at the top of the league. Okay, guys, so we are back here for the second game of today's episode. Going to be taking on Salisbury away from home. But last time we met them, we did win 3-0. In terms of team news since the last episode, there is none, really. No new injuries. We've actually been very fortunate with injuries this year. I think a lot of that has been down to the fact I have been able to rotate the team a fair bit. In terms of our team for today's game, we're going to stick with, am I certain? I was about to say I'm going to stick with the team that we played in the last game. I think we are. There was part of me that wanted to play Matty Hamilton up top for today's game, but I feel like we'll hold off that for now and have him as kind of our ace card up our sleeve, I guess, for if we need a goal against Salisbury here. In terms of transfers, there was just one that went on kind of since the last episode, and it was Joel Edwards being released. I kind of wanted to hold on to this guy. He's been a very useful centre-back for me. He's not played a whole lot, but particularly with Green's long-term injury, we are a little bit bare when it comes to centre-backs. We've got, obviously, Mason, Watkins, Clark. We've got Lewis Lacey, and we've also got Moulton. But with the exception of those 3 centre-backs, with Green's injury, we don't have kind of a fourth choice, which is a little bit risky. We have got an option, I guess, in the youth team in terms of the fact that we have Matthew Hackett here, who's an okay centre-back, I guess. But in an ideal world, I really wouldn't want to rely on this guy if I can avoid it. So I might try and get like a really short-term centre-back player. But at least for now, we are going to be kind of chancing it just a little bit. But anyway, as I said, team, nothing really going on financially. Just a little update on the finances. We sit with £436,000 in the bank. It's worth noting that actually in January we didn't make a whole lot of money, but a big reason behind that was, if we just highlight the fixtures here for January, you'll see we only actually played 2 home games in the month. Towards the end of the season, you can see here we've got quite a few home games coming up. So obviously we do make significantly more money on those home games. And I believe actually we earn somewhere in the region of £10,000 per home game in gate receipts. I've done a little bit of number crunching, just kind of looking at the finances as a whole. And yeah, that's kind of what we make in terms of an average match day. In terms of other stuff going on at the club, I haven't really talked about this, but I have got a little bit of a mini crisis potentially going to set in, and it's to do with the fact that, as you can see here, we have all our staff members, all their contracts are expiring at the end of the year, and well, most of them, John Gray being an exception, but most of them, I'm hoping now that this is all going to work out, I'll try again, most of them don't want to renew their contracts. In fact, they've all changed their mind recently. A few weeks ago, none of them wanted to talk to us. Steve Jenkins, our assistant manager, he's not interested in renewing it, which is kind of perhaps worth keeping a tab on. But at least actually it seems like a lot of our other staff are kind of reasonably happy to stay on. There's a few who aren't that keen. Stuart Searler, or is it Searler? It doesn't sound like an English name, but apparently it is. Well, he is. Does he have another nationality? He probably doesn't. I'm just being presumptuous here. He's from Wimbledon. And Brendan Rodgers is his favourite backroom staff member. Well, one day you might be able to work for Brendan, but for now, well, I was going to say for now you're going to work for Hereford, but he might be leaving, so maybe he won't be. But no, kind of our staff as a whole, we're in a pretty good situation here. I can actually renew a lot of these guys' contracts now, which is nice, because what I was going to tell you guys was about the dilemma that I had where a lot of my staff members were looking very likely to be leaving the club, which it's fair to say would have been a little bit problematic here. It's worth actually noting that in this year's FM you can negotiate wages down quite kind of hard, like you just saw me do there with Liam Brewer, where if you are just a little bit patient and you do kind of go back and forth, you can generally get players and staff members to kind of, take a cut off what they're initially asking for, particularly if you play hardball. There is a limit, of course, to it, but I found that you can probably knock off about 20% of someone's demands just by doing what you saw there, which is kind of just going back and forth with them. Sean Hurd, not interested in talking about a new contract yet. Maybe he will be in the not too distant future. But yeah, it looks as if for a lot of our staff members, at least, perhaps I'm not going to have the problem I thought we were going to have with the renewal. There's still a few kind of players there who certainly, or a few staff members who certainly kind of fit that role. I kind of don't want to lose Anderson, if I'm honest, if I can avoid it. He's a very, very good scout for this tier. 13 judging player ability, 14 judging player potential for a team in the 8th tier. That's ridiculously good, of course. Anderson, the former Barcelona and Bayern Munich man, a man who, if I'm honest, like if he can come out of retirement aged 45, I wouldn't complain. But no, that's kind of the staff. You've probably got a rough idea to have a quick look at all the different staff members we've got and their attributes. They're all pretty good in terms of, where we need them to be. Our physios in terms of Hirons on 18 physiotherapy and Callinan on 19 physiotherapy. They're all pretty good. And again, John Gray here, pretty good coach, particularly when it comes to fitness, which is kind of his area of expertise. Obviously, Stuart, a very good goalkeeping coach. We've got Liam Brewer, who's a good when it comes to his head of youth development role, of course, working with youngsters, as well as judging player ability and potential important attributes. Perhaps I could get an improvement in the not too distant future, but for now at this level he's fine. To be honest, Steve Jenkins, who's thinking about moving on, I can probably find a better assistant manager out there who'd better suit my needs. And, if I can get an assistant manager with better judging player ability and potential, that would be useful, because it'd mean that when I'm doing these live commentaries and you see the squad sheet, the star ratings are a little bit more accurate, because they are a little bit weird at the times at the moment. Anyway, let's get into today's game against Salisbury. Apparently 1,159 tickets have been sold. It looks like they might play a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2, depending on how you want to look at it. Of course, they're second in the league. A win for us here would see us go 10 points clear at the top of the table. A win for them would see them cut the deficit to 4 points with 8 games remaining in the season. I'd be hesitant to say it too soon, but I do feel like if we can go 10 points clear and get the win today, that would be kind of the title almost in the bag with 8 games remaining. In terms of my plans for the end of season, if it's really tight, I'll come back and do the last few games. I kind of hope and have a feeling, However, if we can get a win here, certainly we can have a relatively comfortable end to the season where it doesn't go down to kind of the final game of the season to decide who gets that automatic promotion spot at the top of the table. Anyway, we are playing in red today. Of course, last time we played Salisbury, we won 3-0. We want another result like that, and well, we have the ideal start. David Lynch, his 20th goal of the season, the back post header for him. The ball in by Johnson, the right back, and it was a lovely little bit of link-up play by the two former Hillsborough players, of course, both signed right at the start of our kind of move to the club. Two players who immediately jumped out at me and that were recommended, and well, the right back and the striker link up well there, and well, the ball finds its way into the back of the net, and that is a dream start for us. 1 goal up. I don't necessarily expect a result or performance comparable to the 3-0 win we got against Salisbury last time we met them, of course, at home, but at the same time, an early goal here gives me hope that, well, we can come out victors in this game. Certainly a draw as well, to be honest, wouldn't be the worst result in the world, particularly when you consider that with 8 games remaining we would have a 7-point cushion, plus the goal difference is very much in our favour in the division. Anyway, half an hour gone here. As the game settled on, actually, Salisbury have done a little bit more with the ball. They've had no shots on target as of yet, but they have had a fair few opportunities, and they are having more possession. And, well, David Lynch, the goal scorer, getting an injury. Matty Hamilton, you are going to be coming on sooner than I would have liked. You are playing as an advanced playmaker, which I'm not... as a target man on support, which I'm not a massive fan of. I'm actually going to swap, I think, him and Sinclair around. I've kind of been tinkering with the roles. You may have noticed, obviously, David Lynch, he's not exactly a great target man on support. I have been trying to use this system with a deep line playmaker on support instead of the target man. It's not quite had the desired effect, and I've actually, the results haven't been as good when I've used that. But in this game here, I kind of feel like with Matty Hamilton and Jake Sinclair, neither of those players particularly great at winning the ball in the air. Neither got much aerial prowess about them, so it's probably in our interest just to change things up here and use the deep lying forward alongside the advanced forward and hope it works for us. And, well, there's going to be a late chance here right before half-time. The big ball up the pitch. Can Jaden Hall win it? He can't, although... Can he close it down? The ball up down the line. Johnson, just no nonsense here. We're a goal to the good, and we don't need to slip up right before half-time. It's a nice clearance, actually, to Sinclair. And now Hamilton, number 17, the new man, plays through Sinclair. He's got pace. He beats his man. Can he finish it? He can't. Hit straight at Lumley. A chance to double our lead on the stroke of half-time. Unfortunately, the chance is squandered. And, well, that is just not good enough. We're 1 goal to the good. But it could be more, and it probably should be more. I noticed, actually, Salisbury did a double substitution at half-time. I'm wondering if their players are really tired. They're now playing a 3-4-3. That's interesting. I don't really know what to say about the 3-4-3. I feel like that kind of suits us. And while we're on the attack here, Hamilton, he's going to be looking for his first ever goal. We did just hit the woodwork. I think it was Forster with the header. I want to take a quick look at their team. Yeah, so fitness for them looking like it could be a bit of a problem. Our fitness is ever so slightly better. Menku for them really struggling, and they have used 2 of their subs now with not a whole lot of time left in this game. I've minimised the bar at the top. Is that? There's the button. Panic over, everyone. I forgot what button I'd accidentally hit there to lose the bar at the top. But we're all good now. Minor technical difficulties. But, well, what isn't technically difficult is this game. And, well, have I just jinxed it? Because now they have men on the attack. Wright's coming forward on his own. He lays it to Wright, but they have 2 players called Wright up front. This is like, how am I meant to tell my players which Wright to mark? They might get the right mark or they might get the wrong Wright. My brain hurts. Anyway, we're on the attack. Jaden Hall with the ball forward to Townsend now. Options on ahead. Big ball dinked over the top. Sinclair's there. He should have done better again. Another golden opportunity for Sinclair. He had one right before half-time. He's had another one-on-one with the keeper, and for the second time in a row, well, the keeper has bested him, and, well, it remains 1-0. And now a set piece in, and Menku scores the header. A player who I said was tiring. You wouldn't have known it by that header. And Salisbury find themselves all square in this game. It's their first shot on target of the match. It's a header from a corner, and in truth, we only have ourselves to blame. The ball in, it's a nice ball in, but the marking questionable, the goalkeeping perhaps even more so. And Salisbury, with 27 minutes remaining, find themselves all square now, and, well, they'll be wondering quite how they've managed that, because in truth, we've been the better team in this game. We've created more opportunities despite having less possession. We've just not taken them. But now we have a set piece of our own. It's whipped in, and it's a penalty, and Callum Hart has immediately committed an absolute sin in the box for them. And having fought back to get to 1-1, we now have a chance from the spot to get the win. And, well, Lewis Lacey, he's missed his last penalty in a live comp. Please don't miss another, Lewis. Don't do it. He smashes it down the middle, and well, I said this is a chance to get us the win. Of course, it kind of is, but there is still 22 minutes remaining. But it is a great way to respond immediately to having conceded a goal from a set piece. We get our own penalty, which, well, it was provided thanks to some terrible defending by Salisbury from a corner. And well, we've taken the opportunity kind of very graciously, I guess, because we're 2-1 up. There's 20 minutes remaining. We should be okay. We should be okay. I'm trying to assure myself here. It's not been the greatest performance by Hamilton. Forced it on a booking isn't ideal ever. I'm going to make a double change here. I'm going to bring in Purdy as well. So Rob Purdy and Coutre is going to come on. Just to give us a little bit more in terms of fresh legs in the midfield. Forced it on a booking. Adrian Clifton, the centre mid on defend, not had the greatest of games. Purdy very capable of playing there. He's going to come in and get a bit of a run out. And well, hopefully he can give a performance to remember here. And, well, 15 minutes left. Time slowly ticking away, but Salisbury have created opportunities. They've just not really tested the keeper or hit the target at all in this match. And, well, I'm just staring now at the top left, hoping time's going to trickle away. They've got a set piece. We clear it kind of halfway away. Of course, we conceded the last goal from a corner. The ball back into the mixer. Geed is there, and Geed scores. It's 2-2. We have just not defended crosses very well in this game. And, well, it was a free kick this time that was cleared, but it's come in from another ball into the box. It was a great cross in truth, but just no one picking up their man. The ball headed with, well, not a lot of power, but the direction was already on it. And it finds its way into the back of the net. And, well, 5 minutes left. 2-2 wouldn't be the worst result in the world, but at the same time, there may well be another goal left in this game. Salisbury probably going to need more than a draw in this game, you'd think. But, well, there's only 2 minutes left for them to try and make something happen, and time trickles away. We are going to get a point. It's not necessarily the 3 points we would have hoped for, but we maintain our gap at the top of the table, which is good, to 7 points, which is still a very, very impressive margin. It does mean that we haven't lost to Salisbury in the league this year, which is also always massive, I guess. When you're playing against a team like Salisbury, a team who are equally kind of as big as you are in the league, and it's a league full of smaller teams, it can very much be defined kind of title challenges on the results against, you know, the teams who are real kind of title rivals. And well, to beat Taunton twice, to win once against Salisbury and get a draw here, that is nothing to be scoffed at. And well, with what, 8 games left of the season, 7 points clear, the title is still very much ours to lose. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up this episode from me. Hopefully you did enjoy, as always. Slightly longer episode as it was that live com doubleheader. Great result in the first game against Taunton. The second game against Salisbury, not particularly memorable, I guess, but we avoided defeat, which is certainly the main thing. It does see us maintain our gap at the top of the table. David Lynch only out with concussions. That's a little bit of a relief, the fact that it's nothing too serious. And yeah, that is going to be all from me. Thank you for watching, as I already said. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap...